Welcome to Golden Mastermind Seminars Radio with your host, Jeffrey Combs.
Jeffrey Combs, good to be here with you on 2 for Tuesday. It's a breathe, release, and let go day in a very relaxed body in very unique times in world and American history. So if you are here with me today, I commend you for being here. This is the original More Heart Than Talent mindset call. That's how it started off on a live conference call back in the day. It started off in 1999, and today it is now the Golden Mastermind Seminars podcast. So good to be here with you. And if you're calling in here from Brickell, Florida with the Josh Waxman team, I am honored to have you here. Dr. Kelly, Jared, and I do believe I saw Michael. So good to see all of you here this afternoon. Aaron, good to see you. It is a breathe, release, and a let go day. So Josh, good to see you this afternoon. The topic for today's Facebook Live is called acceptance. Acceptance is a very, very skill. It's a great skill to begin to master, because in acceptance, you're moving out of denial. And in acceptance, you're letting go of, you're beginning to address character defects. So if you're sensitive, you're defensive, you get your feelings hurt easily, or you overwhelm yourself easily, acceptance is a great tool to be able to address the situation. So in acceptance, you can be honest with yourself without being critical of yourself. So in rigorous honesty, now these are just straight out of this is just ground floor content from 12-step programs. All 12-step programs start with step one, and in step one, it's when you begin to really take a look at yourself and you surrender. Now, in our world of recovery, sobriety, higher consciousness, surrender is not weak, surrender is power, because what you're surrendering is your ego, you're surrendering your will to be right, you're surrendering the payoff that you continue to recreate to fulfill the neurochemical craving that you're addicted to. Twice a year, I host an event called Millionaire Blueprint. And my other keynote speaker with me is Josh Waxman. And I also have another woman who speaks at my event, also Lynn Morey. Lynn is a relatively new speaker. She brings a lot to the table as a long-term attorney. She went through a lot of trauma in her life. She's one of the keynote speakers, and she is a new coach. Josh has been my client for 10 years. Josh is well on his way to being a multimillionaire in the direct sales insurance industry, and he brings a tremendous amount of value to my event as he covers your dialogue with money, fractional banking, and other financial terms. But Josh also covers the history of money, and money breaks down to receiving, deserving, and am I good enough? And if you're not able to accept money, if you're not able to accept a compliment, if you're not able to accept the love that you deserve, and you block that, well, you will continue to recreate the same situation to fulfill the neurochemical craving that you are emotionally addicted to. So in energy, we have a lower self, and then we have higher consciousness. The lower self is anxiety, fear, and doubt. And then those are driven by the autonomic reaction to fight or flight, which then become emotions. And so emotions have a corresponding future. Emotions have a corresponding future, meaning the emotion you're in, as you send a wave, it has a wave, so that wave is also called a hertz, and it travels at a cycle per second. And so your reticular activating system, which is the amygdala, it's a pea-sized gland above your left ear, and that's what searches for a familiar feeling. So if you're addicted to trauma, you're addicted to chaos, you're addicted to being sensitive and defensive, and you live in this lower level of energy, and you can even have a lot of talent. So you can muscle up your talent out of force and force yourself into some level of success, but you will consistently break down because you haven't moved into acceptance, willingness, honesty, and then there's forgiveness, gratitude. And so that's the 5-factor right there. That's the cornerstone of the transformation. I've been teaching transformation for 27 years. I lived it prior to that for another 10 years as a recovering addict, alcoholic, entrepreneur. I was not an overnight success. 8 years into free enterprise, I was $100,000 in credit card debt. This is 1996. How do you get $100,000 of credit cards in 1996. Well, I was resourceful. That's what an entrepreneur is. And that's when I had a brick cell phone, $1 a minute. And long distance in that era was 26 to 38 cents a minute on MCI, on AT&T, and Sprint back in the day. Incidentally, Sprint started out as a network marketing company back in the day. So if you're joining me today, I'm covering the topic of accepting the process. And so in acceptance, you're able to look at self and look at the world around you, accept what the situation is, and then you teach yourself, your higher self, to be able to navigate what is going on in today's world, in the political world, the financial world, the banking world, and then your business world, and then your own personal, intimate world. You accept your character defects. You also accept that you have assets, and you accept that there are certain character qualities that are assets to you, provided you're able to put them into application. I am a very skilled athlete. I was a 4-sport letterman in 4 different sports in a relatively small high school in the Midwest, right below Omaha, Nebraska, and Lincoln, Nebraska. And those gave me skills. Now, the athletics gave me reflexes, and reflexes are very important as a business owner, and especially in today's world, as you are required to adapt and adjust daily. Because every single day there's a new bizarre situation that you will see in the political field, and the ego will go, well, this doesn't make sense. Well, it's not about making sense. It's about being able to adapt and adjust to the trauma-based mind control, to the chessboard, the black and white chessboard that we are playing on. Now, for those of you who don't understand what that means, I will talk in riddles today, and then you can figure it out. There's a group of men, their origin goes back to the 1100s, and their origin is called FM, so you can figure out what the acronym means. They then become the banking cabal of the world, the Rothschild-Rockefeller banking cabal. Who owns big pharma, big medicine? Rockefeller. Who owns petroleum? Rockefeller. So the more you understand that cabal, you can adapt and adjust to it, but you have to be educated on it and be able to accept what it all means. The fractional banking system, the Federal Reserve banking system, the 1-to-9 ratio. I mean, it's your responsibility, your ability to respond, your ability to understand money. And if you can't accept money from your own deserve issues, from your trauma, sexual, physical, emotional abuse, then you will have challenges onboarding people, closing sales, attracting to reality, quality, like-minded success seekers. For those of you who are seeking to attract that rock star, that superstar, that person who brings you the endless referrals, it will be earned. It will not come from luck. I mean, you might get lucky. That would be the 100th of 1%, and that is available. That's called the lottery. You might trip into someone and they become your rock star. They become the person who takes you to the LOP, the land of promise, or the LOF, the land of freedom. That is a possibility, but your skill set is what's going to determine your ability to operate in free enterprise. And step number 1, you master, and if you don't master this over time, that's letting go. You let go of your stories, you let go of your anxiety about the outcome, and you better learn to let go of your anxiety about selling, because if you are not skilled at sales, then you will have challenges making it in free enterprise. The network marketing, direct sales industry will go to great lengths to de-edify and teach you sales skills that aren't conducive to being a professional. If you think you can wing it and be an amateur and just walk out there and share your products, benefits, and features, well, lots of luck, because luck is when opportunity meets preparation, and that is not going to put you in the land of promise. To be able to sell is to accept the fact that sales requires skills. And selling is not, you don't get rejected in selling. You will encounter people who aren't qualified buyers. You accept this. You accept the fact that most of the people you talk to, many of them are pathological liars. They will tell you what they think you want to hear. And they will have a good intention and a poor delivery. They will tell you they're going to get back to you. Someone told me that yesterday with a set time, and they didn't get back to me. They didn't reject me. They over-obligated themselves and then told themselves a pathological lie. They actually believed it. And that's what's your responsibility, to understand that most of the population are codependent, they're unable, they over-obligate, and they will tell people what they want to hear. Yeah, Y-E-A-H. I'll get back to you. Well, what does that mean? Will you? Or Is that just empty words? And so that's your responsibility, your ability to respond, your ability to accept what's going on in this moment and ask another qualifying question so you can trial close this situation in a relaxed body while letting go, breathing, releasing, and letting go. Acceptance is a very, very important asset, characteristic. It's not an emotion, but it is a component of higher consciousness, because acceptance falls under the guidelines of courage in the breakthrough factor. Courage is the breakthrough to your transformation, the courage to face the truth, the courage to face the enemy, yourself, the courage to look at yourself for what you do and why you do what you do and begin the let go process. The courage to stay in the game when you were in the NFL club. NFL, no funds left. That's number one. Number two, no friends left. And number three, not for long. Because if your mindset, you hear me? Those of you who are in poverty consciousness, you're in an overwhelmed state, you have broke thoughts, you're thinking about quitting, packing it in. Man, a job would look really good. Would it? In today's world, are you kidding me, Chief? A job would never look good. A job, you know what a job is, and your job is to stay in business long enough so that you master the emotions and you master the skill sets so you can stay in free enterprise and you can create what the free market will bear. I coached one of my clients today who was in Colombia. He was in Medellin today, 34 years old. He owns 5 businesses. He started following me 10 years ago in 2014. Came to an event in Temecula, California where I was speaking. He brought 9 people. I've been his coach for 6 years. He's never had a job, 34 years old. He's been an entrepreneur since he's 18. He's in debt resolution. He has a debt resolution business. He's an influencer. He's an affluencer. He was in ERC. He's a very, very skilled entrepreneur. He manages phone rooms. I mean, he's very, very skilled. And he's been at it for over almost 20 years, starting off as a teenager. So he has a lot of repetition and experience at adapting and adjusting. My client Josh Waxman is in his late 20s, but he's been in free enterprise with his father as a teenager, then bought his first franchises in his early 20s and hired me with his own money at 18 years old at a campus. I was doing an event right off the campus of University of Delaware, Newark, not to be confused with Newark, Delaware, March 3rd, 2014. So I have a 10-year plus history. And so I have many clients that I've coached for 10 plus years. I have many clients that I started at ground zero with them, and over a 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 year process, they became 7-figure annual income earners. That could be your story if that's what you're seeking and you're willing to pay the price without knowing the cost. Now, in today's world, those of you who understand the financial world, the markets, the interest rate, the Fed, the housing situation, where insurance carriers are pulling out of certain states. Well, what you want to understand, what that means is that the cost of living is absolutely going to go up. If one of the political candidates wins, the Fed will print money and it will look good for a year or two. And if another presidential candidate wins, it will look bleak in the financial world. So you have to understand what's going on in the world, and then you have to manage your emotions in your world so you can adapt and adjust regardless of what's going on in the political world, so that you can be and stay in free enterprise in a relaxed body, attracting to your reality quality, like-minded, prosperous team builders, teammates, customers, clients. Ideally, you're looking for organic, holistic leads who come to you, people who buy from you, who refer you business. I mean, this is the ideal situation that can and will happen as you let go of control, as you let go of your story, your control, your sensitivity, your defensiveness. You can't possibly succeed in business unless you're living in neutrality, and that means non-attached. If you're attached, if you're looking for someone to violate you, pick on you, take advantage of you, you have lost before you started. Now, there are people who have talent and still have some of these characteristics, and they rise to the middle of higher consciousness for flashes of brilliance, but consistently will drop back down to rock bottom in places of apathy, grief, sensitivity, and defensiveness. And I'm recovering myself from being sensitive, defensive, and angry all the time. That was the cardio cocktail. It was up and down in the emotional scale, which led to multiple addictions, multiple digressions, drug arrest, public intoxications, DUIs, and a host of other situations that chronically had me in the crosshairs of the law. So in that situation, I would be worried all the time. And that worry all the time became the cardio cocktail, the neurochemical emotion that kept me in high anxiety, fight or flight. Because an addict always wants a little more. So if you're a drama addict, you will continue to attract drama and trauma to your reality to fulfill your feelings. And if you have challenges worrying, you'll attract customers that are right there on the cusp of buying from you, and you will find some way to FUI. You know what that means. You will find some way to sabotage the situations because it would contradict your ability to accept that you're good enough and to accept that you're capable and accept that you deserve to receive money. And if you're not skilled at this, you will just continue to recreate the same situation, fulfill the same set of feelings to fulfill not being good enough. Now take a long, deep breath, release, and let go. There's some awesome people on today's call, and I am honored to be here with you. If you have not sent me a friend request, please send me a friend request. I will accept immediately. If you're watching my content today, you're not familiar with it, and you identify with the content, hit the like button, and that will put you in my news feed. Every Tuesday at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I host this Facebook Live. Every Monday through Thursday at 9 p.m. Pacific, I live in Central California. Every Monday through Thursday at 9 p.m. Pacific, I host a Facebook Live, a short one, about 5 to 10 minutes. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday there at 6 p.m. Pacific. If you are seeking the answer, if you are seeking the truth, if you are ready to let go, I also offer free 20-minute coaching sessions, and you can request one of those by going to my website at goldenmastermind.com, or you can send me a Facebook message. I'm going to wrap up the content here today because it's important that you be and stay in a relaxed body. I've been saying this for years. Be and stay in a relaxed body. Breathe, release, and let go in a relaxed body. I've added on the relaxed body about 15 years ago. And what that means is that you're flexible in your body and that you're able to adapt and adjust in acceptance, in a state of willingness, accessing the courage to let go. Letting go is your ability to separate your feelings from the events that shape them. And in that state of higher consciousness, you are no longer the mind-body connection to the events that shape the feelings. It means that your body's letting go of its own dis-ease. Your body is letting go of the neurochemicals that mask the same feelings of heroin, the up and down, that give you that high and that low, that the medical industry also likes to give you a red pill and blue pill for. As you begin to live a lot more holistically, naturopathically, and you let go of the emotions that keep you recreating the same situation over and over, then you will be and stay in a relaxed body. As a sales professional, a leader grower, a mentor mentoring mentees, that relaxed body allows you to be flexible. It allows you not to personalize situation. It allows you to live in a non-attached state because you're accessing your power, not your force. When you're in force, you'll be creating a counterforce, someone to be at opposition with, someone to violate you, someone to make you wrong. You'll attract narcissist perpetrators, and you'll live in a panic pattern and brain fog. And if you're seeking insight and wisdom on the skill of letting go, contact me. Breathe, release, and let go. My honor to be here with you this afternoon. Thank you very much. I'll be back here at 9 p.m. Pacific this evening. Josh, thank you for bringing your team of exceptional professionals to today's Facebook Live. And if you're brand new, thank you for being here today. Have a great afternoon.